Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Looks like everything's going according to plan now. All right, let me try this again. I'm doing dueling monitors today, so there we go. As you can see, I have picked the wrong shirt to wear. Apparently, with my green screen, my shirt apparently is picking up some of the coloring on there. I think I might have to turn that off here. So give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. Let's turn off the green screen. There we go. Yeah, it's not as pretty as the green screen, but at least it'll work. Sounds good to me. Alrighty. Let me just take care of some housekeeping stuff for those who might be joining me now. Though apparently I'm the only one watching me, so there you go. All right, hang on. Let me see if I can share these things. So if you're watching this in the past, I'm basically trying to get the link and I'm going to share it with some friends and go from there. Let's see. All right, let's try this again. There we go. That's it. I think I've got, I sent them to the People's Republic. Let's close that out. All right. Let's go to the Ubitubis. Hello, Ubitubis. Let's see. Nope, I don't want that. Let's go to here. And I think after I do this one announcement, I will be ready to rock and roll. And I'll be starting at 2:30 on time for a change. That'll be a good thing. All right, so here we go. I'm going to Foto Dono is now live. You have been warned. Nope. Oh, good Lord. I look like a giant green something or other. Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Do I have to remind anybody else? Let's see. I think that's doing it there. How's the YouTube feed working? YouTube feed's working good. Let me go to one more spot. Let's go to edit this. Nope, not edit. Here is the direct link to the live stream. Oop. All right. There we go. All right. Looking good now. Okay. And just for fun, we're going to record this separately. All right. Well, hello there, everybody out there in Ubertuber land. Thank you for joining me, whoever it will be joining me later on. as you're watching this live on the YouTube, um, I have a slight delay on the YouTube. So what you'll see is me talking and then maybe reacting maybe about 20 seconds later after you'll see the question, after you see the video. So basically, when I'm talking right now, it's appearing on YouTube about 20 seconds later because there's a slight delay. I'm still using Zoom as my platform for this stuff, and it's been working out well for me. I'm going to be switching probably to the OBS system for doing this stuff, but I haven't quite mastered the techniques. And so basically, it's an online broadcasting system, and it's OBS. It's a free piece of software. So I'll probably be using that in the future because it has some more advanced features than the Zoom does. But Zoom still makes it pretty easy to do all this stuff without too much of too many brain cells being damaged in the process. So it's working out for me. Pardon me 1 second. Oh man, it's been a rough couple of days here lately between last weekend and getting ready for today. There's been for those of you who just to give you kind of a brief recap, I was going to try to attempt to do some live streaming on location. So I was going to see how that worked out. Apparently that didn't work out at all. So yeah, that happened. I'll show you the results of what I got. Nothing too spec. I was basically I only had a free. I went to this. I went to go pick up my son up in Maryland, and I had to drive all the way out there and pick him up, and then drive all the way back. So we took a very brief, quick run through the Smoky Mountains. So I wanted to try to capture some photos for some of my slides. For some of my classes that I do, and I needed some new refresh some of those images up. So that's basically what I did when I was out there, and I'll show you what I was talking about as far as that goes. So yeah, so there's that. So anyway, a couple of really good news for those who have subscribed to my Patreon account. And I'll be putting the links in once all this stuff is up and running as far as that goes. But for those of you who are interested, on my Patreon account, I got the postcards finally came in, and I'll be sending those out. And I've got another postcard that I'll be sending out as well too. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh wait, let's get closer. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So hopefully that'll work out as far as that goes. These are basically what I've been doing. For those of you who haven't been who haven't seen these yet, I've been going through some of my older work, and I've been turning those into postcards. So if anybody wants a postcard, all you got to do is sign up on my Patreon account, and it's just basically for $1 a month. I'll be sending those out for you. I'm going to be posting this video also on the Patreon account as well too, so you'll be able to see that there as well. So I'll be sharing this and everything else I do from now on. Foto Dono Live will be there. I'm still working on a few other videos in my spare time at this point, so I'll be having some of those, but that'll be only for Patreon subscribers at that point. So that'll be that. There'll be more instructional videos, more like a classroom type of thing, more than this free form type of discussion. And that's what these things are. This Foto Dono Live is basically what I've said on the meetup group that I moderate, is that this is what it is. It's just a free form. You guys have an opportunity to ask me questions if you like. You know, that way you get to see some of the things that I like to do. These are basically about topics that you know, could be something completely random. It could be something that I just stumble into, or it could be something that I've put a lot of deep thought into, and I just wanted to kind of talk about them as far as that goes. Each one of these has been kind of like a little some tutorials, some, you know, me just kind of spouting off out there, talking about stuff and just seeing what happens. I haven't had too many responses as of yet to this stuff, but I figure once I get about 52 of these done, I should have quite a library of stuff. I'm sure there'll be some gems in here somewhere. So there you go. Just again. So let me refresh. So again, so we got the postcards. So they'll be going to the Patreon subscribers. Got some more that I'm working on that I'll be putting together, and I'll be getting those processed for next month, and I'll be sending those out as well too. So yeah, that'll be fun. And so yeah, I'm going to put a little history behind each of the pieces in there with the postcard. I've decided that I'm just going to stick it in an envelope and mail them to you guys. I think that works out pretty well. I think I got the right size this time, and I'm going to put that because I kind of let you guys. Oops. I'll kind of let you guys decide if you guys want to mail them out to your friends or something like that. But I'll give you like a little brief description about a little history about each of the pieces and stuff like that in the letter as well too. So, and I'll be posting these up on Patreon as well too, whichever after I've got them printed out and whatnot, and that hopefully will be going up later on this week. Yeah. Let's see. Well, so okay, look, there's a couple things that are going on here. So give me a second. Let me pull up the YouTube, the interwebs here, not the YouTubes. Give me 1 second. I'm dual screening here, so I have to keep looking over at the other screen to see where the mouse is going. I still have. I've got my mirror box now plugged into my as I'm pointing to it that you can't see. I got my mirror box now that I've that's set up so it plugs into my Olympus camera now. So the video hopefully looks a little bit cleaner. It's a little fuzzy right now around the edges because I got the green screen turned off because the shirt didn't quite match up with that. But I just want to kind of show you some of the things that have been going on with some of the events that I'll be doing later on. As soon as it pops up over here, I know. Yeah, this is what you get when things are live, man. All right, so let's go over here. All right. Okay, let's go to screen share. All right, so I have to go back over here, share my screen. And let's go to the desktop. All right. So I'm going to share the desktop with you guys. Let me just double check on the YouTube, make sure it's kind of flowing over there. So I'll wait for that to kind of kick up. Move that over here for the screen. There we go. So I can see that on its own. Now, for those of you who don't know, I have my own website, and that website is basically fotodono.com. Basically FOTODONO.com. I've got some of the classes and workshops that I'm doing here through Johnson's. Also, some samples of some of my low light photography, something that you guys, if you guys are interested in some of that stuff. I'm going to show you some of the ones we just did recently with Kat later on here before we finish up, just to show you some of that stuff. Kat Fodor has been a good friend of our me and Dave's, and she's been graciously allowing us to use her as a model for some of the things. She's also a great photographer in her own right as well too. So we'll be doing some of that, and I'll show you some of those things. I'll talk about those in a few moments. But you can see some of the things where you can see some of the portraits I've done, photos of the Milky Way, some of my landscapes and stuff like that. So you can kind of check around and see what you guys think about that stuff. I do have a blog that's on there. The blog is not as robust as I would like it. I've been more concentrating on this stuff than keeping up with that. I did do what they call a 10-day performer artist challenge. It was for all artists, but they called it the 10 days. So I just kept the title, but I basically posted about once a day for 10 days, some of the stuff. And you can see there's some of my older work that's in there too. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. So that was a little bit of fun. I might do that again, but that was a little bit fun stuff right there. So yeah, so there's some really cool things. Just a couple of things too that are coming up too as well. Johnson's is going to be doing Johnson Photo Imaging. We got some workshops that there are some exciting ones that are coming up. Again, everything's online right now. That'll be coming up in hopefully in a few weeks. I'll be able to announce some of that stuff through JPI. So hopefully you guys will check that out and see what's going on there. Right now, if you go to the website. Let me move this over here just a second. We've only got a couple of classes. Mainly, if you're looking for online classes or some tutorials, I got some stuff that's coming up for you for that. I got our private classes, and of course, the low light group meeting is going to be meeting on July 30th. For those who are interested, I'm teaching some camera basics, a beyond basics, and a light basics class that's coming up. in July. So that's going to be kind of fun as well too. These are paid courses, so you do have to sign up for them, but they are free if you have um, a gift card, not free, but if you have a free class voucher from JPI, you can get one of those. And or if you have a gift card, you can just call the store directly. Again, you can see all that stuff on the website. So just check that out whenever you get a chance to. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, like I said, I'll be posting these live with Foto Donos once I do this one. You'll see that on the meetup. So if you go to meetup.com and look for the Braided Photo Group, you'll see that's posting right there. And what I've done is I put the link into my YouTube channel, so that way you can kind of go there and see what's going on. I did post the live link here when I just started here, so you'll see that right there as well too. So yeah, pretty much there. You can also check out through. I got my my PayPal for there for if you guys want to leave me a tip for some of the stuff that I've been doing, or you go to Patreon if you want to get cool little things like postcards. So yeah, I think as things keep moving on, I'll have other things as they come along. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing this stuff. As I said before in some of the other videos, because I feel like I'm not sure if anyone's been watching. I've seen some of the analytics on YouTube, and some of the it hasn't been really as they say robust yet. So if some of you who've been studiously watching me, I appreciate that. And but just to kind of give a recap on some of the stuff about yeah so if you hear, I mean, forgive me if I repeat myself a couple of times. Yeah, as you may have heard some of the same stuff in some of the other videos. Eventually, when I have a throng of millions, I'll probably have to. I'll get to stop doing that. Also, you'll get to look at this video back here. We'll talk about that. A couple things too. The other thing too is that some people have been asking me to do some more. Talk about some of my astrophotography. I'll probably be doing that next weekend as my current thought for that particular thing. So I'll be doing that probably next week. It's either going to be fireworks or astrophotography. For those of you who are aware of the current situation, that some of the areas are not going to be doing their fireworks presentations. Some will. Nathan Bedford Park will, but it's by ticket only that you'll have to go see the fireworks. So I don't know if the tickets are sold out. But if you go to the Low Light Group page on Facebook, there's a link there. Or of course, if you Google Nathan Benderson Park in Sarasota, you'll be able to check it out and see if there's any tickets left. I myself am not venturing out to do it. I'm just going to basically hunker down and hang out with my son during the 4th of July. It'll be a little bit more. I got my own sparklers, and we'll see what happens when we start playing around with some of those and see how that goes. But yeah, but I'll be probably doing some sort of astro/fireworks type of thing next weekend. And I'll begin Saturday at 2:30 for that type of stuff. So please come back around, check it out and see what you guys think and let me know. Always leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Is it this side? I don't know. It's over somewhere side. Oh, we stop sharing. That'd probably be a good thing. You're looking at a big old blank screen there. So yeah. Oops, it jumped over on me. Here we go. Stop sharing. There we go. That's better. So yeah, if you want to, you can always check out right below. It's on this side. So if it's right over here somewhere down there, hopefully you'll see like a like, share, subscribe button, and you can kind of check that out and go from there. Oh, there's a hi on board. Hi on board. Nice to meet you, board. Okay, so anyway, last weekend I was going to be doing some sort of remote location from the Smoky Mountains, and I knew that the thing that wasn't going to be that great when I went out there. So what I ended up doing was I just ended up just doing the couple of photo projects I wanted to do out there. So I did those. So I'll just show you some of the things that I did with that. So I'm going to have to share the screen again. Let's see. Let's go to here. And hopefully that'll click on over on that. Now, one of the things that I'm always talking to people about all the time here at the camera store or with photography in general is talking about the field of view. Field of view is something that everyone kind of doesn't really think about too much with their photography. So when you're looking at stuff like this, you can see what's going on right here is that different lenses have different fields of view. So what you're trying to do is that if you get a wide angle lens, you can see all what happens to the guy on the left. With a super wide angle lens, everything gets smaller and smaller. But if you use a telephoto lens for portraitures and get closer and closer to them, or crop it down, you get a much more unique effect for the background and stuff like that. And this deals with the field of view when you're looking through your lens. It's basically from wide angle to telephoto. So from super wide to teeny tiny telephoto. Yeah. So for instance, so this is me going through some of the things dealing with field of view. This is at 7 millimeters right here. 7 millimeters worked out pretty well for that. And you got basically 8 millimeters, 9 millimeters, and then jumps up to 10 and so forth and so forth and so forth. So you can see right here, it starts to get a little bit more dramatic as I start moving a little bit faster through the numbers. And you can see basically I'm right there looking almost down on top of a road with some cars driving on by there. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And I haven't moved from the spot. I'm still at the same exact location. I'm basically, now I'm shooting this with the Olympus with the 150 millimeter, the Pro 40 to 150 millimeter lens at this particular spot. But I didn't move or change anything. All I did was I just kept zooming on in. So you can see I've got pretty nice and tight in there. It looks pretty cool and things look really nice when it comes to that. Now, when it comes to shooting portraits with telephoto lens, I'm more of a fan of that because this is more than enough. Typically, this is what you usually see is something like which hopefully you guys can see on the screen there. Is that you can see this is a super wide angle. This particular picture. Hang on one second. Okay, just making sure YouTube's still there. Sorry, because that screen disappeared on me. So you can see this one here is a super wide angle. So you get a very, very wide area. And you can see everything's very, very far away from the background. That road that you can see back there behind his head, that's basically, I don't know if you can see it over there. That road right behind his head right there. Let's see if it works this way. No, it doesn't do it that way. So you can see like there's a little bit of a road right behind the left side of his head right there. So if I zoom in on him or still just go to a regular wide angle, say a regular wide angle, see it not too bad, but again, I'm losing some of the trees on the side, but I had to be, change my physical distance to try to keep him in there. Now, if I go to the next one, this is a normal angle of view. And this is again typical what I see most of the time when I see people bring pictures back and show things. And of course, there's always the fun thing of where they're shooting on this particular thing. Not so great on that. So, with the trash can over there to the right. And if you looked in the previous one, you saw like there's people behind them, things like that, wandering back behind my son right there. So yeah, there's kind of that type of stuff. So if you go to a telephoto, that's great. You got to step back further in, but you got to remember, you got to be careful again what you're seeing in the picture. So now you get a much more of a compression in the backgrounds, which is really kind of cool. So, you get this nice little soft background right there. Now, the idea is, again, if you shoot with a super telephoto, you get even tighter still, and you can see those trees, which were this far behind him, literally. Look behind his head. Watch where the trees are behind his head. You can see how much bigger and bigger they're getting. So it's pretty cool. Now, granted, I kept the that car and that thing in there to just kind of show you a relationship of where everything was. I had to be back quite a bit of distance to get him all in the entire shot. Now, with the other pictures, I was able to crop into him a little bit. But the idea is, this is what I was looking for, is to try to do something along like this, where I can control the subject. And I didn't crop it. All I did was I just turned the camera vertically. So I guess you can say that's a crop for that. But you can see right there, I shot one at f/18, gives me a fairly wide depth of field. And then I shot one at f/2.8. Just again, sort of a compare and contrast with some of that stuff. So you can see that you could do some really creative things with portraits with a telephoto lens. So again, one of the things that I like to do is play around with that type of stuff. And that was part of the project that I was working on, is trying to create this little field of view kind of study. And one of the things that I see again, time and time again, people don't really pay attention too much to that type of stuff. They're always looking at it. They're always trying to experiment with it. or they don't experiment. They just basically take the picture. They, oh, well, that's good, but how do they do it? How did it come out? Things like that. Excuse me. So the idea is if you're trying stuff like this now, if you actually think about it before you go out and try to do it, you get some more interesting results because of that process. Try shooting your portraits with telephoto. You might have to go back 10, 20, 30 feet if you want a full body shot. When I've shot weddings and receptions and stuff, I typically, what I end up doing is I basically just do that. I just shoot with a telephoto if I can, because that usually works out pretty good. Now, I'm not talking like super telephoto, like with that 150 that I was shooting uh, with that Olympus one right there. I'm talking about just a decent telephoto, anywhere from like 90 to 105. Yeah, some people consider 85 millimeters the portrait lens as far as that goes. But again, it really just depends on what you're trying to achieve and what kind of effect you want to do. So again, if you're shooting a large group, that's not going to work out as well. If you're shooting a couple or maybe a small group, 3 or 4, that might work out kind of cool depending on how you pose everybody. So like I said, you just kind of got to play around with it. By all means, do some experimenting with some of the family members. Well, not experimenting on the family, but maybe take them outside and shoot with with your really long telephoto lens and see what kind of things you can create with that, and then play with the depth of field a little bit and see how well that changes on there. So yeah, that was kind of the things I was trying to do. I was hoping I could do that live out there, but yeah, no, that didn't work. Also, too, before I left, me and David Frayer and Kat Fodor went out and shot some really cool photos of some steel wool on fire, and it was really cool. I had a lot of fun. Let me pull some of that stuff up real quick here, and by real quick, I mean as fast as my fingers can push on buttons here. Okay, we're doing good on time. I don't want to keep you guys too long. I started around a little bit 2:30. It's like a little bit 3 o'clock. So yeah, here we go. All right, so let's go back and I'm gonna share my screen again. No, don't do that. That hurts my brain. Yeah, I know, it hurts my brain too. Maybe I'll talk like this for the rest of the day. I'll be talking like this, so that way you guys can feel like that. You like that? Should I talk like this, or is it really hard to understand me? Probably hard to understand me. All right, so let me move this button over here so I can see it on there and the YouTube thing. All right, maximize this. So, kind of give you an idea. So this is some of the things that we were working on as far as that goes. This is actually from a previous one. You'll see some of the later ones that we were working on. But steel wool is kind of a cool thing to play around with. So again, but it's dangerous. So again, you got to be kind of careful about that. I'm not saying go out and get your own steel wool. But steel wool burns on its own. You don't need any accelerant for it. Just basically naturally is flammable. So you got to be kind of careful with steel wool, especially in the shop when you're working around with it. So the idea is you could do some really creative things, especially with long exposures as far as it goes. So you can see right here, these are some of the pictures that we were playing around with a couple of towards the beginning of last year. These are just some of the things we created, just playing around with the steel wool, creating different effects. Now we also added or Dave, I should say, added a little bit of a flare to all this with a little LED thing, which I thought was really kind of cool. And it worked out pretty well for all that stuff. So let me back up a little bit. So we went back out there and we started doing this stuff again. Now, this is a little bit of we're getting set up. But I was letting it all kind of play around, shooting some pictures. So what was in this particular picture, I thought was kind of cool because it created a really unique effect with we were some of the lights that was going on around her at the time. And then Dave was walking past with his flashlight. You can't see Dave. You can see a little bit of cat there. So it came up really kind of cool. And I like the fact that the way the flashlight just lit up this patch of the ground right there. So it worked out really, really well. So it came up this really unique little thing, a little bit of the city in the background there. But this was just a quick little one-off just to see what we were kind of doing out there. And this is kind of like, like a kind of like a wide shot of how it was looking from that. But for me, that's great that they're all wide and stuff. But the idea is if you get closer, that's really the way to think of it. Now this is a cropped version. I was basically about the same distance. I just basically cropped into it later on. But this is basically more an emphatic shot. So I like this one right here. It really gives it a lot more vibrancy. I did do some editing on it, meaning I did clean up a little bit around here. There was some seaweed and stuff. I just tried to move some of that around if I could or darken it up. But it came out really cool. The wind was pretty whipping out there, so it was kind of cool to get a little bit of highlights with her hair in the background there. And again, we stuck the LED light back there, so that was a lot of fun. You can see all the slag, molten slag falling down there, and that's what steel wool is. When you light it up and you start spinning it around, it's molten slag coming out there. You got to be kind of careful, like I said, because you can burn things down if you're not paying attention. Luckily, it's been raining a lot, so the ground's fairly saturated in most places. So, but be very careful. So this was with an LED light. A lot of fun with that again. Again, playing more with the steel wool. Yeah, having Cat do different poses and stuff. I basically stayed off to one side. We were there with a group of people, and so we had a few of us basically evenly spaced out with social distancing and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. Kind of give you guys a kind of a brief go at that. Now this I think is probably my more favorite one. Let me see if I can blow it up for you guys. So it worked out really, really well for that one. Let me see. Is that showing up on UBTubies? Let me see. Hang on one second. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Let's see. Where are we at on here? It looks like you guys are trailing behind here a little bit on the YouTube. Let's see what's going over here. Anyway, so the idea is, so hopefully, you guys are seeing some of this stuff. All right. So it was lots of fun. I had a good time doing it all out there. I'm trying to keep an eye on the YouTube channel as well. See what's going on there. It looks like it says I'm doing live. Let's see. Let's refresh it and see what happens. It's Jack. Oh, hey, Jack. You don't see steel wool photos? All right. Let me try this again. All right. Let's try this again, Jack. Let's see if I can do this one more time. So I'm going to stop sharing. Let's try this again. All right. Let's go to desktop 2. All right. Let's see now. Let's see what happens. All right, Jack. Hang on 1 second. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Let me see if I can get this up here. All right. Let's go back to this. Here you guys. All right. Let's try this one more time, Dono. All right. Let's back it up. All right. It looks like it's moving now. Let me see if it catches up there on YouTube. I see me talking on YouTube. Okay. Going over here. Going over there. All right. Looks like it's working now. All right. Cool beans. Let's see if that does it. So it catches up. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. I feel like I'm watching myself in the past, like a little bit of a time thing. Okay. Yeah. I'm moving it around. Thank you very much. All right, so that's not going to do it like that. Sorry, hang on one second. Oh, there we go. That's popping up now. All right, so hopefully you guys will be seeing some of this that's popping up here now. Let's see. All right, let me minimize this now. All right. Okay, it seems to be doing it now. All right, so I'm going to minimize my YouTube channel. All right, so let's see. Oops, let me double check. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. So these are some of the steel wool things that I've been doing. Again, maybe go back up. So these are things we did from previously from before. So to kind of give you an idea. These are some of the fun things that we tried to do as far as dealing with some of the effects. Well, like I said, we're dealing with steel wool. As I said, it's a flammable thing. It burns on its own. You got to do long shutter exposures, and these aren't too long. These are about a couple seconds here and there, so you can have a little bit of fun with it. We just had cats kind of stand around and do a couple different poses, things like that, and we had a lot of fun shooting these pictures. So, but let me go back to the newer ones over here. I think these are the newer ones again. No, these are a little bit older ones right here. So here we're doing a little bit more refined technique with dealing with the flash. And we're going to be doing this again on Sunday too. So this will be a lot of fun. So again, Kat's going to be posing for us. She'll be wearing whatever outfit she's wearing and stuff like that. You can see a couple of the sparklers there, kind of the sparklers of kind of the little flares and stuff like that kind of tapped her right there. So yeah, kind of fun there. Oop, come here. There we go. And this was again from earlier in the year. This was something we did with dealing with fireworks that are going off behind her and stuff like that. She moved a little bit, so you can see it looks like some of it's coming out of the shawl that she's wearing and stuff, and that's more of like a silhouette. Yeah, let's skip through these real quick. So I was talking about before, like here, right here, you see like these pictures of again, this looks like light just kind of floating out there. And I thought that was kind of cool with the city behind it. Again, what I did was most of these pictures, so this is a wide angle shot, so you can kind of see what's going on where all this kind of bouncing around. And now you can see like here where I've cropped into it, and you get to see a little bit more of a detail of what's going on inside there. And again, it's a lot of bit of fun. You see a lot of steel wool flying around, lots of slag, things like that. That's the LAD thing. Let's see. Let's go to the one that I wanted to show you guys when I was super excited about, which was this guy right here. So yeah, it's actually a compilation of like 3 or 4 different images that got put together. But she was basically standing right there, and all these fireworks are going off and around her. It was pretty intense. And I don't think Kat was quite ready for it yet. So yeah, that was a little bit of fun for everybody there. Well, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you got to see it, Jack. Thanks for showing up, Jack. I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna get out of this one. I'm gonna stop sharing again. All right. So anyway, so that's the kind of some stuff that I've been doing lately. So not only been doing the webinars, I've done I've done over 20 webinars. 20. Well, this month alone, I think I did uh, 15 webinars between doing the Foto Dono live and doing this, doing stuff for Johnson, and I've also done my own little things earlier too. So it's been quite a busy couple of months. I'm ready to take a break, but I'm going to keep doing these things. As I said before, on July 4th, I'm going to talk a little bit about fireworks and probably some of my Astro stuff. We'll see how that goes. What else is going on? I think that's pretty much about it. As I said before, check out my Patreon account. I'll be putting the links in here once all this finishes processing. That way, when I repost the video, I have that. But if you go to my website or if you go to the meetup page I was showing you from before, you'll be able to see that there as well too. Let's see. There's one more thing I wanted to mention. So my brain, I know I should have made a list. um, I think I pretty much covered everything. Like I said, we got some special upcoming events coming up through Johnson's, a couple of really cool online events. Teaching private lessons now. I could do those in store privately with social distancing. I'm also doing coming up hopefully. Well, depending on the mandates have been changing lately around here as far as dealing with health services and stuff like that. So I was planning to do a couple field trips. See how that goes. As I said, we got the steel wool thing that's coming up this weekend, so I'll be showing you some of that as well too. So other than that, I think I'm gonna pretty much sign off. I got a 16-year-old who's probably waiting for me somewhere. Hopefully, I could find him. You know where he's at, Jack? Anyway. Well, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you, Jack, for keeping me company here on the YouTubes. Oh, I'm up to 5 people watching me. Well, thank you all 5 of you. If you want to, please subscribe, and you can always subscribe on my YouTube channel. Just click on where's my finger at? There it is. I think it's right there. So if you click on the little subscribe button down there, click on the stay or share or like button. If I get up to 30 subscribers, I get to rename the channel Foto Dono. So all I got to tell you is to go to youtube.com/Foto Dono instead of that long string of numbers that I sent out to you guys earlier on. But yeah, so I'll be doing this again next week, and it'll be a lot of fun. And other than that, thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks a lot.